Hey guys, coldbrew here. Welcome back to another raid video. Today on the test server, we're going to go through the new event dungeon that popped up. And I have a team made for it for the more end game setups. And I'll have a complete end game setup later on in the end, which is completely pay to win, if I'm going to be honest. This one is not so much pay to win. It actually uses a champion we all have received very recently through the fusion that we just got, Lady Noelle. If you do have her, she works very well for this dungeon. The other champions here in which I'll show are also difficult to acquire, but can be used to actually beat down on this boss if you do have them. And I'll explain the strategy behind it, the speeds that you need, because some of them are quite high and some of them are very specific, and also the accuracy requirements for everything. If you guys found this video any helpful, please leave a like and subscribe to the channel. So let's get started. Stage 30 is what I'm going to be showcasing today, guys. No earlier stages. Obviously, the stages before this are easier and have different speeds and different opponents. So the strategy changes for that one. Obviously, makes it easier to use other champions. So stage 30 for this one, I'm using a double nude strategy. If you are already ready to skip because you see double nude here, obviously you can use any other triple hitting or double hitting enemy max HP champion in its place. You can use one nude and one Marius if you do have them. Again, if you're farming stage 20, it means you're end game and you are somebody looking for the pinpoint set, and also in the future to farm that event dungeon tournament when that pops up to pick up the new relic. Okay, so double nude, we have Lady Noelle, who's going to act as the control champion here because of the freeze ability she has. She can use this without having any dead allies, and we don't have Sir Nick in there, so we have to build her with accuracy and a ton of speed. I'll show you the speed on her. The nudes are normally built. Prince Kaimar, you can build him however you want. Depends where you use him, but he has to be slower than everybody, basically, for this setup. And then we have Elva Autumnborn here. You can use a different champion here instead of Elva. I know many people out there might be using Elva for their teams on the Chimera, which is what I'm currently using. So I'm actually on the test server now, so I was free to re-gear her basically for this one. But you can use any cleanser and it should work the same, because what you want from this one is basically a cleanser. Okay, the block debuffs and increased speed does help. You don't need it though for the team to work. Okay, because what you're doing is you're controlling enemies and doing damage on the boss, and that's it. You're not trying to do anything with the other skills that Elva has. Just so happened that it was the one that I thought of and built, which does have the cleanse. The block debuffs helps, but you don't need it after the boss takes his first turn. So how does stage 30 work? So stage 30 works with Kaja here. Kaja is the one that you need to be controlling. So you can use a spirit champion instead of Noelle. So a spirit champion that has something like a stun, you can try to do that. If you have a guaranteed stun, it obviously works. If it's an attack though and it doesn't land, you're gonna have a bad time, especially if it's not a spirit champion, it's a magic champion. You might hit one of the force champions and do a weak hit there and mess up the run. Okay, so the idea is to control these 4 champions and Kaja. Kaja the Rai here is built with 300 speed on the enemy. Okay, and then the boss has a speed of, I believe, 265 from what I've gathered from my testing. Okay, so the team that I have here has speeds of 263, 262, 313. It's basically more than 300, and then 600 accuracy for Noelle to land her her freeze, and we have the extra accuracy there from nudes. Prince Kaimar 215. Then Elva with the cleanse and the block debuffs, okay, with 264. So faster than the nudes. The nudes are slower though. And then she's going to go one below the boss. This is very specific. She's got 665 resistance for this one. Also very specific because we want her to not be feared. And this is part of the strategy here for this run. Let's have a look at the run. And we'll explain it on how it goes on the second try. So there's the freeze going. There's the true fear. We didn't get feared on our cleanser. The boss attacks. We are fine. We didn't get anything done on us, basically. Nude survives. He's defensive based, so he's tanky. And then the other nude goes. We hit for about max damage. We hit max damage once. We managed to do enough of the A3 on the boss. We get the reset from Kaimar. There we go again with the big A3 and A3 again. The freezes definitely help there to control the enemies. That's a 31-second run. That's the idea behind this team, okay? You want to be using this team basically to farm as much of this pinpoint set as possible. If you're somebody who doesn't like to farm this one, you can go to the earlier stages and then do the tournaments through those. But again, here you'll have a higher chance of picking up better pinpoint as well. So why does this work, and how does this work? So the high resistance and stone skin there on Elva is obviously so that not only we have good resistance so we don't get feared, we also have the resistance in case stone skin gets removed. It will have to go through the resistance check to actually do something to us and fear our Elva. Elva has to be there to cleanse. That is the crucial thing. So once we cleanse, we also have the speed up that helps basically to take our turn. Next, then our beloved newts will go do their A3s. I'm gonna put this on auto now. Do their A3s. Noel will go again now to freeze. Okay, once the reset happens, obviously Noel shouldn't be double the speed of Kaimar because then she'll overlap him. And then we go again, and because of everything, we managed to kill the boss. So this is the team, guys. There's nothing too crazy about it in terms of the strategy, okay? The idea, though, is to build Noel, basically, with what I've shown you. Just perception and speed is what I've used. I didn't think of maybe stone skin. 600 accuracy or so. Even accuracy masteries there. Don't need them. If I'm gonna be honest, you need the 600 accuracy though if you're trying to beat down on this boss and have the freeze apply to the enemies. I don't know their exact resistances, but I'm guessing if I compare it to the previous event dungeon, it's somewhere along those lines. So that's why I built it with 600 accuracy. My newts, I haven't changed at all. So one of them is even in Affinity Breaker. I use him in the Phantom Shogun. So obviously, if you got better gear, if you got something like a Savage gear or something close to it, then you can use that obviously to do more damage and not have that, you know, incremental damage that you've seen in my runs. So the next one up is my other newt, who does have the lethal, who does perform way better. You don't need them to have accuracy for this one, but obviously you should be using them for Fire Knight. So they will have some overlapping, you know, usefulness to have them. The speed is the only thing, guys, that I'll have to say you have to have that, because if you go before the boss and you cleanse, the boss will remove your buffs, okay? So, and apply a block debuffs, the boss will remove those. So the only way is to apply an unremovable block debuffs, which is not possible unless you got like protection gear on and you get lucky with that 75% chance on the 9-piece set. So with that in mind, I think this strategy is the best one of the lot, but you'll be running lower speed, so you might need to be moving gear around if you're using your newts with all that. So Lady Noel, I did show the gear. My Kaimar, I didn't show the gear, but he's running in like a bolster set. It's actually a bad set for this one because it gives it 5 buffs to your team. Doesn't really matter for our runs, as you saw. But it does affect the fact that on 10 turns, the boss gets, on 10 buffs, the boss gets a turn. And then finally, for, who was I going to show? Kaimar. I showed Lady Noel. Who am I forgetting now? Elva. My God. Elva here with the 4-piece stone skin. And then basically everything else is resistance, guys. To get her to 264 with the 664 resist. So this build is nice. Obviously very difficult. But again, guys, if you're looking to quickly farm this, this is the way to go, right? This is the way to go. I think this team is very solid. Again, you can replace Myers with one of the newts. The other newt, I'm guessing you guys have. If you're somebody who's trying to be endgame, you've been playing for at least 1 year since last newt, right? Or is it 2? Anyway. That's team number 1. You gotta guess the team that's following up. This is the complete endgame team, but some of you guys are completely endgame, so you definitely want to see this. So let's have a look at that one. Right, guys, so we are back. This is gonna be on a whale account, stage 30, 11-second farm, triple loot. Again, you can use in one of the newts here. You can definitely use Marius, but again, you'll need high stats. But Spider comes into play here with the increased speed in dungeons. He was showcased in my video for the last event dungeon. You might have seen it in the past. And then we have Arbiter there for speed boosting, because again, you need to be faster than Kaja. You're not going to be running a control on Kaja, so you want to have defense down. It does help, at least for me. Defense down on weekend, it helps. You 25% extra speed for the dungeons. It gives you boost on your base speed, and then Arbiter to go fast. Arbiter is like 330 speed, and then the rest of the newts are built with good damage, and the speeds are about 268, 256. High crit damage though, as you see, guys. It doesn't matter for the crit damage, but the speeds matter. Of course, you need about, north of 255 from what you see here. Accuracy doesn't matter for this one, but I've explained it before. And then Arbiter 338, and that's how it works. You will need to have one of the newts that will go last. You will have to have a blessing there to execute the boss. That's how it works, okay? There's no way around it. If you don't have that, the boss will not die. So this is how it's going to go. The run is going to be 11 seconds. It's going to be very fast, guys. Hopefully it doesn't fail. Shouldn't fail. Even with like a resist happening, it's not going to be failing. So there it is. Both defense down on weekend. There we go. 435, which is the max we're hitting for on the boss. All the newts go. We don't have enough buffs. But look at the boss now. Boom. Gets executed. 11-second run. That is how it works. And this team can farm it very quickly. Get those pinpoint gear sets. With Marius, obviously, you might need higher stats. But the defense down and weekend helps. And actually, the run might be even a bit faster with Marius, because I believe he has it as an AoE attack, right? So this works very, very well. You see how the hits perform. The last newt, as I said, the slowest newt will have to have the blessing here to execute on the boss. Arbiter just has speed. And my boy here, Spider, just has accuracy and speed. How much accuracy? 529. I think that's not enough, actually, because sometimes I would notice resist. So the 600 that I showed before, that's what helps. That's the team, guys. 11-second run. Boom. Just like that. Very easy. 2 teams for you to farm stage 30. Go at it like crazy when the relic's out. If you want to pick up on the relics, at least the epic one looks okay. The legendary one looks a little bit better. That's it for today, guys. Thank you all. I'll see you in the next one. See ya.